Have you heard about Global Poker? Global Poker is the fastest growing card room in the US today, and it's available online at globalpoker.com. Global Poker is a social poker site that offers safe and secure cash-out options by using their unique and patented sweepstakes model. Players can compete in big guaranteed tournaments, jackpot sit-and-goes, or cash games featuring Hold'em, Omaha, and even Crazy Pineapple. Don't wait. Check out Global Poker today.
Poker Stories is an audio series that features casual interviews with some of the game's best players and personalities. Each episode highlights a well-known figure in the poker world and dives deep into their favorite tales both on and off the feld.
Hello and welcome to Poker Stories, a podcast brought to you by Card Player, the Poker Authority, and hosted by me, Julio Rodriguez. This is episode number 78, and it features French poker pro Julien Martini. Julien is 27 and has only been grinding the circuit for a few years now, but during that time he has been red hot and has won about 4.5 million in tournaments, which puts him at number 10 on France's all-time earnings list. The majority of that came in January of this year when he finished runner-up in the 25k buy-in PokerStars Players Championship for just shy of 3 million. Last month, he final tabled the 25k Euro mixed game event at the World Series of Poker Europe Series, and then made the final table in the main event. And most recently, he won the $10,000 buy-in big bet event at the Poker Masters. Last year, he also took down a WSOP event in Las Vegas, winning $240,000 and his first bracelet in a $2,500 buy-in Omaha 8 or better tournament. That win eventually led to one of this year's best off-the-felt poker stories when Julien married the woman he beat heads up, Kate Hoang. I mean, can you imagine meeting your wife or husband in a situation like that? These two poker players fight their way through 900 people at the WSOP, get heads up, fall in love, and get married. How cool is that, right? Anyway, that's enough intro. Here is my conversation with Julien Martini. All right, I am here at the beautiful Table 1 at Aria in Las Vegas. We're right in the middle of Poker Masters Week, and I'm here with one of the winners of that Poker Masters series, Mr. Julien Martini. How you doing?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for joining me. My first Frenchman on the podcast.
Wow.
So, I'm going to boost my numbers in that country for sure.
For sure, yes.
If they can stand all the English. Well, let's talk about you and your meteoric rise in the poker world, because you just kind of came out of nowhere in the last couple years. 27 years old, and you're telling me you're from a small town just outside of Paris?
Yeah, called Le Blanc-Ménil.
Okay.
So it's a very small town on the north of Paris, and originally my parents are coming from Corsica, a small island in Mediterranean.
Yeah. So what did mom and dad get into?
So what they do for a living?
Sure.
So my father is working in the automotive industry, and my mom is administrative assistant, so nothing very special.
The perfect combination to create a high-stakes poker player, right?
The perfect combination. Like, nobody knew any rules of any games. They never went in any casino, and that's pretty funny when you think about it.
Yeah, what about brothers or sisters?
One little brother is like 14, so still thinking.
He's still thinking about maybe poker one day.
For the moment, he just loves soccer, and that's it.
Probably best keep him away for a while.
Then it will be girls, and maybe one day poker.
Okay, so you grow up in this small town. What are you getting into at this time?
So I was playing. I was doing a sport called handball. I know it's not very popular here in USA, but in Europe it's pretty big. And I really thought I would be professional one day, and one day I get injured, and it's.
So you were on the path to handball stardom.
Yeah.
And what was your injury?
I get my ankle broken, so basically couldn't run for like 6 months.
Oh.
I was 15, if I remember well. And
was this a handball injury, or was this something else?
Handball injury at the training,
That's
like,
crazy.
yeah, I did like maybe 100,000 jump in my life, and this one was the wrong run, I guess.
Oh man.
So I tried to practice again, and I wasn't that good anymore, so just giving up. And
the game had passed you by at 15.
Exactly, yeah. And I needed to find the competition spirits, and I found that in poker.
Right away, right? So what drew you to poker? Do you remember? Was it a home game or friends?
Very funny thing is once a year in France you have like one day where you promote your sport, and basically that day I was promoting handball for my city, and the stand next to me was the poker stand. That's very funny when you think about it, because it was so unlikely to happen. I had no idea of poker, I didn't know what was it, and nobody was in front of us, so the guy came to me and started to introduce me poker, and I fall in love for it.
Really? He just hooked you right there?
Hooked me.
He had a sales pitch for the game and everything.
Yeah, he was actually already professional, and really helped me and advised me, and I was like starting to read everything I could and see everything I could on poker.
So what was the in first? Did you just deposit money online right away, or?
I was you could answer questions on poker strategy and win like $20 or $50, I don't remember, and from this like starting to grind very small stacks and try to build a bankroll. But most I was like playing free roll and very, very small stake.
But this was after Black Friday, right?
That was before. That
right
was
before.
So I was 15, so 12 years ago.
You started early.
Yeah,
that's right.
Pretty early.
I'm doing the math from when you're 21 like an idiot. Of course you got an early start at 15.
Yeah.
So did you find success right away, or what was your game?
At the beginning it was like up and down, and I couldn't really think that we could make an income from poker. When I was watching Sunday Million, and I was like, wow, what kind of guy can put like $215 in a tournament? They are completely crazy.
Right.
They are like gamblers, addicts, etc.
Yeah, every Sunday?
Yeah, exactly. Every Sunday, what the hell? And I was obviously watching on TV like WPT, WSOP, and for me it was like a completely other world. It's pretty funny. I was watching like people like Antonius, Ives, Jennifer Harman, and all this crew. And today I'm playing against them. So
isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's super crazy. And so just to answer about the question, up and down, and I won a tournament on PokerStars when I was just 18. And I thought I was very good at poker, so I decided to stop school and to play poker full time.
And did that decision turn out to be wise right away, or?
Oh no, it was terrible. The worst decision of my life, So
it all went poorly.
Yeah, I got broke very quickly, and at 21 I needed to start the real life and find a job, a very small job.
So what was that job? So we have a question on the podcast we asked, what was the worst job you had before poker?
I was actually, I don't know how we say in English, but I was actually knocking on door to sell like TV sports.
Yeah, door-to-door salesman.
Yeah, that was like really hard, and needed to work so much, like 10 hours a day to like $600 income, something like this. And I think it teaches you life. Yeah, for sure.
It teaches you need to get a better life, I think.
Exactly, yeah. You really want to go out of there, yeah.
Do you remember a particularly brutal experience in the job?
Some funny situations. Some people are actually very nice, way better than what I thought they were. And no, I actually had good meets. I met some good guys, and No, I actually, it was very hard, but I actually enjoyed to do it, and I think
it was just the hours.
Exactly, yeah. It was very hard for a poor income.
Poker player hours are so much nicer.
Oh yeah, I mean it depends. When you build your bankroll, you have to play also like 16 hours a day, and this is a
yeah, and then you have the jet lag to deal with.
Oh yeah, that's another problem.
But you could also just take the day off, sleep in. No, there's no boss to call you and tell you got to get to work.
I will sad if I don't play poker for one day.
I know. You don't like to take a lot of days off. All right, so it looks like 2017 was your first year in Vegas. Is that true?
I was playing actually in Vegas before this. I don't really understand, but probably 2015 when I was like still working.
Mm-hmm.
I was like doing summer in Vegas and like 1 or 2 tournaments. I was trying to play the main, for example.
Yeah.
And
So even though you had the day job, you were still dipping your toe back into poker.
Let's say that I was playing poker 1 month or less a year.
Yeah.
Let's say that. So I was like really don't care about poker, but like June, July, let's see what's going on in Vegas.
So what changed all that?
What changed?
Yeah.
You mean like why did I stop to have a regular job?
No. I mean, what took you out of the regular job back into poker?
Oh, okay. So I actually work for. I was selling some license for Google Maps, and I had a very good job, very well paid. And I missed the freedom of poker, just the fact that you can travel everywhere, you can discover the world, and most important, you are your own boss.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to work, like you say, like 10 hours a day, you can. If you want to take a day off, you can. And it was something I was really looking for.
So this is a couple years later. You had established yourself, gotten a better job, and now poker's calling, and you feel torn.
Yeah, it was the beginning of GTO and that kind of theory, equilibrium, and I was like, okay, maybe if I one of the first to work on it, I can like make a decent income from poker, take advantage of this.
Of course.
I don't mind anymore to work a lot on my game and try to be better, and I will see poker as a job and not as a fun thing to do anymore. So that was my vision and my plan, and it
was your focus always on tournaments, or?
I was actually focusing on cash game, and cash game is my thing.
Yeah.
Mostly. I'm playing actually like even today like 50 to 60 tournaments a year, running super good. This is why I have good result, but this is not normal.
Yeah. Oh, you're aware? You think you're just running?
Super hot, yeah, of course. Like like.
Well, we'll get into that hot streak in a little bit. But,
okay, let's wait a bit.
Yeah. I just want it's interesting that you saw an opportunity where GTO was still new and you can kind of get in there and supplement your game, even though you're a cash game guy. I mean, obviously the theory applies to both, but
yeah, I think theory is arrive way earlier in cash game, and right now it's everywhere in tournaments. But like three years ago, it was like a pretty poor in tournament and already here in cash game. And to crush limits, you had to know and to understand mechanism of poker.
Well, let's recap that 3 years stretch. 2017, you made a couple final tables during the summer. And then April 2018, you won a event at Bellagio for $72,000. You followed that up with a bracelet where you won $239,000. I'll ask you more about that in a second. Then you took third in a 10K Raz for another $134,000. Boom, August 2018, second in EPT Barcelona side event for $378K. And then the big one this January, $25K PokerStars Players Championship for $3 million. I mean, that's crazy. And then, obviously, last few weeks, 5th in the 25K mixed event at WSOP Europe, 7th in the main event, and then you come here and you win the 10K big bet mixed at Poker Masters for another $166,000. I'm exhausted just listing that out.
That's crazy. I can't even believe myself when
I
hear that. It's
you just hear you rattle off score, and I skipped some pretty decent scores in there. I couldn't get them in.
Yeah, I'm very fine with it.
I mean, that's a welcome to the poker world. You know what I mean? Like that's how you break out into the scene, right?
Yeah.
Do you still feel kind of like a rookie still, or?
No, I don't think that, but I still think that I'm not a tourney pro, even if I had good result. I feel like right now the high stakes scene, I don't know how we say, is super high skilled, and I don't see myself as one of the best player, even if I have great results.
So why play?
Why play? Because
that
I try my
question,
chance. Right? I actually that was a good question, and I actually asked that to myself. I decided to play Poker Master, even though it's probably the hardest tournament series in the world, just because. Even if I had a lot of scores, I never won anything in 2019, and that was important to have a great year.
Yeah, there were a lot of big second places and whatnot. So to get a title, I'm sure
Yes.
feels good.
I was like annoyed to always finish second.
Well, let's get into some of the highlights from that run. Let's start with the bracelet. The first thing I always ask people is, what do you do with the bracelet? Where is it?
I was playing a lot of cash game before, and I was already playing high stake cash game before winning the bracelet. And I started to play tournament because I wanted poker to be meaningful for my families and my friend. And I was nobody before this, and after this I could say I was like world champion, even if there is like 70 or 80 world champion every year.
Exactly.
And that make a lot of sense for your family and your friends, etc. So I just, as a symbol, I just gave it to my father. And that was a good present, I guess.
That's right. The bracelet legitimizes you, right, to all your friends and family.
Exactly.
Who think you were just some crazy gambler who went out there.
Exactly. Like, I'm pretty sure that before this, they were thinking I was drug dealer or something like this. You know, I was living in Asia.
Oh yeah, poker, huh? Yeah. What's that code for? Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's nice. You gave it to Dad, and he's got it displayed proudly somewhere.
Yeah, probably pretty proud of it.
Yeah, keeps it out of your traveling hands, right?
Yeah.
Where do you put down your roots these days? Because I have one site that says Paris. I got the WSOP profile says Taipei. Twitter says Manchester, England, and obviously the new wife is Washington.
So I definitely I left Paris 3 years ago when I started to be professional, when I left my job, and I moved to Taipei, where I met Jen Chen, who is my best friend and who is my partner in crime, let's say that. I live in Taipei for more than 1 year, and in the January or February, I decided to move to Manchester. So right now I'm in Manchester.
And how does that work? Well, let's just get to the relationship.
Yeah.
Because we can't explain what's going on there until we figure that out. So 2018, you're playing in the Omaha 8 or Better event, and you are heads up with the lovely Kate Hoang, right?
Yes.
Did I say that right, Hoang?
Yeah, Hoang.
And battling it out for a bracelet. And all this time sparks are flying?
All this time I just wanted to kill her. You know, I just wanted to win the bracelet.
All right, so it wasn't like flirting in between hands the entire way down the final table.
Like nothing.
Okay.
Like not a single word until the end. And I still can't believe that happened. Like definitely the best day of my life. Winning the bracelet and the perfect woman is like an amazing day.
That's right. You win $240K, the bracelet, and she wins $150K. I mean, the two of you took off the big chunk of that prize pool for sure. And it all stayed in one household. But yeah, how did that work with, first of all, why wasn't she angry that she lost it? You know what I mean? I saw photos on social media of her posing with you afterwards and saying how nice you were and congratulating you on the victory. I mean, most people don't take heads-up losses like that. Phil, help me.
Oh, I think that Kate is she has a lot of empathy, and she really understood how important bracelet was for me, and I think she was more happy for me than sad for her.
Yeah.
And she's just like this, and it's a big part of her personality.
So how did it work? You asked her out that night, or?
We crossed each other, and we went to karaoke, and things went well, and we exchanged a lot of texts, and things went pretty smoothly.
Yeah. So how does that? I mean, you're obviously both in poker.
Yes.
She's more of a mixed game Omaha specialist.
Omaha low big O specialist, yeah.
But I'm assuming she focuses mostly on cash.
Yes,
unless it's during
cash.
the summer.
Yeah.
So how does that work with you traveling the world and?
So we are trying to figure out a way to always be with each other. She's either coming in UK or I'm coming in USA. Everything goes very well, and we try we found our balance between us, and even if some days it's hard for her to be far or for myself, we are very happy and hope it will go for life.
Yeah, and it must be nice to have somebody who can commiserate with you when things don't go well. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of those days lately, but I imagine it's nice when you have a big losing day to be able to come home and not have to explain it.
Exactly. She really understands when to talk to me, when to stop to talk to me. And,
leave him alone.
Exactly. And she's part of my success for sure. Like my family, my friend, and her, she's like at least as responsible as me, as my different success I had that last month is. And my life is really great.
Yeah. So let's... Sorry, 1 second. So as the first representative of France that I've had on this show, you have to answer for your entire country. Are you ready?
Cool, I'm super ready.
First, I want to know what was the most surprising thing about Americans or the United States that you learned when you first visited?
Probably you mean in poker or in general
anything,
life?
just anything in life.
Probably the respect for police, which is pretty different, like in our country.
You mean the French have more or less?
Oh, way less.
Okay.
Like when I arrived here at the borders and nobody has phone, nobody was talking, everybody was stressed. It was like such a. I was stressed myself. I was like, what will happen to me?
I think stressed is a great way to describe 90% of America right now. The other 10% are either in comas or so medicated that they're not aware of what's going on. But yeah.
So that was the main point. Second point is how people are more open-minded here, and they think like there is less taboo, especially about money. You can speak about everything, and people are very open. And one thing which is very different is in France, when you want to succeed in something, you can't really say that you want to try out or you want to be the best. Or while in USA, like it's like the first step to go in something. Like you say, I want to do something and I want to be the best on it. And if you say that in France, like you can't.
You guys take a more humble approach, right? Like put your head down and grind it out, and you'll get to the top one day.
Not really humble. More like we are lying to people. Like we are not saying the truth, what we really want to, and like less. We can't really say what we really want to do. Yeah.
And here we teach our children to like speak it into the universe and it'll come true, like
exactly
anybody, little Timmy can be anything he wants to be, right?
Exactly. Why, like for example, in English lessons in school in France, like when you speak and you try to speak English, everybody is just laughing at you. This is why we are so bad in English. This is the reason why we are so bad.
Well, what do you guys watch for entertainment over there? Just all French shows or dubbed English shows or?
Netflix is everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Like you're just watching everything, right?
Yeah, we're watching like a series. We are watching. I think in Europe we are not watching as much as American TV. Like basically, like I don't know anyone of my age who has TV. We are always on YouTube, Twitch, Netflix, and geeky things.
Exactly. What's the latest vlogger saying? That's more entertaining, right?
Yes.
So, the next question I have for you is, what is the most annoying question about France that you get from Americans on a routine basis? Or maybe an annoying misconception about the French.
Okay, so what American thinks about French? Okay.
Or annoying questions we always ask.
Like, I don't know, those girls smells bad.
What, that people say that?
Do you shower once a week?
That's ridiculous.
Thing like this. Do you really eat frog?
Oh my god.
That kind of things. Like people.
These are cartoon, these are cartoon stereotypes.
Yeah, I guess so. And do you really eat I don't know, like cheese and bread every meal and that kind of things? But people, they are like, I think they like French way more than French thinks other people like them. You know what I mean? Like I have no problem because I'm French.
I mean, the average American consumes 2 pounds of French fries a week. So
it's Belgium, it's not French.
I mean, French culture is huge over here.
Yes.
Right? All right, so now you are number 10 on France's all-time live tournament earnings list. Can you name the top 5?
Oh, Bertrand, so Elki, Bertrand Grospelier.
That is correct. Are you naming them in order?
Sure, I guess. Benjamin Pollack. Benjamin?
That is correct. Number 2.
Number 3, I think Sylvain Loosely.
No.
Oh my God! Wait, David Benjamin.
No, I'm
Oh my
sorry.
God.
David is number 5. Sylvain is not even in the top 5.
What? Antoine Sao?
Number 4.
Okay, so number 3, who crushed so much and won so much money? Wait.
What if this guy's not French and they just have him mislabeled?
I mean, I don't see anyone else.
Rui.
Oh my God, Ricao, of course. Yeah, I mean, of course. But he's special. I mean, he's not. He's just playing super big and not grinding tournament really. He's just like a cash game. I mean, he's a great cash game player.
Yeah. So let's see. Who'd you miss here in the top 10? Jean-Noël.
Jean-Noël Torel.
Fabrice.
Fabrice Soulier.
And just ahead of you, who you're about to pass, Roger Harabedian.
Roger Rabedian, who is coming back in poker lately.
Yeah, is he coming back?
Yeah, he's coming
back. So
back.
he might put a little distance between the two of you. I still imagine you'll be passing him shortly. All right. Let's get into some rapid-fire questions if you're ready.
Sure, I'm ready.
Longest poker session?
42 hours.
42 hours, okay.
Yeah, it's not that crazy when I read sometimes people are playing 75 hours more.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
How did it go for you? Were you like...
Oh, it went pretty good, and it was actually here in Vegas, and one guy couldn't leave, and I couldn't leave him, so it was pretty
Wait, you
good
couldn't
session.
leave because you couldn't find a flight, or because the game was too good?
So the guy couldn't leave the table because he loved too much poker, and I couldn't leave him because I was loving too much this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like pretty cool to play with against.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And at this point, I was still building my bankroll, and I needed money more than today. I wouldn't do that today anymore for sure. But
why? For ethics reasons or because of sleep reasons?
More for my health, and I think as long as the guy is not drunk and he's just a successful guy who want to have fun and try to push his limits, I don't mind to be here to play against this guy because you know what he's doing. He's not like in a weak addiction or something like this. It would bother me if the guy was dead drunk and I was here just to kill him,
propping him up with like a broom and
I'm
taking his money. Yeah,
actually always the first when a guy is drunk to say, hey, maybe it's time to go back to your room and come back tomorrow and things like this. I really love when things are ethical and fair. I love fair game.
Let's see, the biggest pot you've ever won or lost. Your choice.
With 100% of my action, $260,000 on one otter on the turn.
Oh.
Set over set, yeah.
Oh, the money went in on the flop?
Wait, it was maybe less. No, it was this 260K. Money went on the turn, and he had the top set on the flop, and I turned over set on the turn.
Oh, nice.
And one otter on the river, all in turn, and one otter on the river. That was very brutal.
Oh, so you lost to the one outer?
I lost, yeah. I lost it.
Oh.
And it was pretty funny because it was a few weeks before PSPC Bahamas. And at this time I was thinking and complaining to my friend, right now for sure all my life I will run under EV. And during PSPC I won ace queen suited against aces who is worth it way more money than this. Yeah. So life is super. The
funny. Equity is crazy in that tournament.
Yes.
You win $3 million.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a $3 million score. I mean, you're already a top poker pro at that point. But does a $3 million score change your life at all, or is it just more money on the pile?
It didn't change anything because I'm living pretty simply.
Yeah, well, you're a nomad at this point, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm living in a bedroom condo. I don't have car. I don't have I give money to my friends, to my family, but I don't need a lot to live. I have a beautiful watch, but this is close to the only one thing I own.
I was about to ask, what's your craziest purchase?
Oh, I have 3 great Hublots. Okay. So watches, which is really my thing.
Yeah.
And no, I love to hit great restaurant, but nothing really crazy compared to money I'm winning.
People knock the fancy watches, but at least they hold some value. You know what I mean? And in some rare cases, they can even go up in value. But I'm just saying, it's some people burn money on worse.
Yes, I agree. Let's say it's an expensive pleasure, but I just love watch, and it's the only one thing I can spend a lot of money on it without have something I'm like thinking I'm doing wrong.
So what is each watch like a treat yourself after you win a tournament?
Yeah, it's close like this. Yeah, I bought my first one when I was starting to grind pretty high stakes, and then like after the bracelet, and then after the PSPC.
Yeah.
Is maybe is that like a reward? You know?
Yeah, good boy.
Yeah.
Pat yourself on the back.
Exactly.
You get a watch. Now you got one for each ankle.
Let's do this.
All right, the best swap or piece you've ever had of anybody.
All right. Okay. So that's a good question. I know what's the best swap people did with me, because like when I won 3 million, I swapped 15% with my best friend.
Good for him.
And when you won 1 million during WSOP 2019, when you finished second, I also have this 15%. So it's like
you got some back.
Yeah, I mean, he bust me on the bubble of this 25k. So
Yeah.
He bust me bubble, boy.
That's crazy.
That was hard. Yeah.
Yeah. Oof. Well, you get some here, you take some away. Hopefully, it all evens out at the end after a long career.
I'm happy for him, and things happen.
All right. Your last name is Martini, which means you get a lot of jokes.
Oh yeah.
I'm wondering what's the corniest joke you always get.
First, I love my name, so I don't really care about it. I'm most likely laughing with people, but Martini on the rock, or like every time when I'm deep running a tournament, like people they name the topic like this, like Martini on the rock, dry Martini, or when I bust, or thing like this.
Yeah.
But I don't really mind. I mean, I love my last name and I'm proud of it. So.
What's your favorite alcoholic drink?
I'm actually really into vodka. For a big alcohol, but like I prefer red wine.
Okay.
I'm not drinking a lot, but when I go out, I obviously drink a bit, and I really enjoy to drink.
It could have been Julien Merlot or something like that.
Exactly, right? Julien Châteauneuf du Pape.
It's pretty weird. I can't pronounce that one, but we'll go with it. Weirdest place you've ever played poker for money? You're young, so this might be online and legal casinos only, right?
Oh yes, that's a lot. But in life, it's I played some cash game in Taipei in some underground place.
Yeah,
and it was like a door on the back of a restaurant, and then you open it, and you have like 200 people like in a room like playing. It's really insane.
All poker or all kinds of casino
poker,
games?
Just poker. Yeah, and it was like actually a great experience, and everybody was so nice. But you are like very impressed by this, and super surprised.
Yeah.
And you don't want to win too much too.
Yeah, you want to be able to come back through those doors again, right?
Exactly.
Or be let out.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, who's the best poker player we've never heard of?
So who is the best today for me?
Well, we just get to shout out somebody who doesn't get a lot of credit these days. Maybe a poker player who's flying under the radar that you think is a good player.
Underrated. Yeah. Great poker player. Michael Adamo. I mean, he's not he's not really under the radar, but I think he's like a fantastic player. And
Michael Adamo has been crushing it out of Australia.
Definitely a beast.
Yeah, we asked him for an interview this summer, but he was very focused. He didn't want to talk, which I respect. I get it. Some people are in the zone before they play. Biggest poker regret?
WSOP 2019. I went here to do great, and I break everything. I don't really care about money and how much it cost me. More about how much I worked for it, and what I did, which is nothing. I mean, I was ready to, not success, to fail, but I didn't think it will be that bad.
Yeah.
And it's not a regret, but I want to have my revenge.
Well, how big of a swing did you take? Like, we're talking 2 events a day?
Oh, yeah, I was playing like every day, 2 to 3 events a day. I really tried hard, and did not even a single final table. It was hard at the end,
Yeah. I mean, it just goes to show everyone listening out there, you can start the year with 3 million, and obviously you're ending it with some great results at World Series Europe and here at Poker Masters. but there was still that 6 months or 6 weeks of hell in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is part of poker. You cannot win every tournament, and to win a tournament, you need to be super lucky. So, sometimes, like, you are not playing very good, and you are not lucky. You have 0% chance to win a tournament.
Yeah.
So, it's I'm fine with it right now, but at the time, in July, I was really happy to go in holidays.
So what do you do to shake off a slump or a downswing? Do you try to play less, play more?
No, I follow the schedule. I know that I really love to see my family during summertime, just spend time in Corsica. No, it's, I don't even care what others are thinking. I just try to follow, the schedule. I thought about it before and try to see what was wrong and how I could be better and, go for the next one.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a celebrity doppelganger?
What does that mean?
Okay. Has anybody ever told you look like somebody famous?
When I was young, people were saying I was looking like a Ryan Gosling, right?
Ooh, I could see Ryan Gosling. Yeah,
I don't
take
see
the glasses
myself.
out. Let me see there.
No, I look terrible right now.
Look at me lovingly, like in the Notebook. I can see it.
Yeah, you can see it?
La La Land, for sure. Can you do a big dance number?
Sure. Let's go on the top of the table.
There
Number
you
one.
go. This is, I'm sure we wouldn't be the first to jump on this table. There's probably been some angry people, lost some big pots in this room. Maybe later tonight, huh?
Hopefully.
Yeah. All right. What was your largest non-poker wager?
Wager? What does that mean?
Like the biggest bet you've ever made not on poker.
Oh, I actually, for a time, I was bookie for someone, and he was betting very big, but he was doing the choice. He was picking the side.
Yeah.
And it was like, I think 150K or maybe 200K, which is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money to take on the side.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
You just make the lines, or you copy something else, or?
So basically, we were like basing ourselves on Pinnacle, and you could just like bet a lot on it, and that's it.
Yeah.
And yes, that didn't go well for me, but I stopped very quickly.
What about the pits? Do you ever play any pit games, or?
I'm really not into
prop
this.
bets?
No.
That's good. Stay away, right?
Yeah, I like to do
Chinese on the side.
No, not Chinese. I like to do some pro bet with friends, but very small and with close friends, and just to have a challenge and not thinking really about money. So for a time here in Vegas, I was doing some flip for like 10K or 15K or 25K.
That's when you know you can't get enough.
But because it's EV0 and like we don't really care. But in a give action and people they are like they are reacting after this. But I'm not really into this.
What is a talent that you don't have that you wish you did?
Playing music. It's maybe my only regret in life is to didn't spend time when I was younger to learn like, piano, guitar or something. Anything?
Did you have any lessons at all? Something you quit too early? I did 8 years of trombone.
Oh, really?
And after high school, I was like, or before high school started, I was like, I can't do this. I don't want to be the kid who's playing trombone. I can't do it. So I quit, and I regret it. I totally regret it. I can't even read music anymore, It's like, but it'd be so cool if I could do that.
I understand. I wouldn't quit in your shoes. Like, music is so cool. Like, when I see people playing music, they are in love,
It wasn't cool to be in the band in high school back in the day. Things have changed a lot for high schoolers, which is great. But that's great. So what would you play?
Probably piano.
Okay.
Piano?
Yeah.
I don't know what we say in English, but
piano.
Piano.
Then you can play the keyboard, and then...
I really love music. I'm really into music. I'm listening 5 to 6 hours music a day, every day. And
we have a question here. Your favorite album?
Oh, that's a great question. Maybe album, it will be something like Radiohead or something or Muse, something very full. Every song are great. But what I'm listening...
Can you pick one? Like, for Radiohead, everyone...
like everyone will say like Karma Police or Creep or something like this. I'm able to listening everything. I'm enjoying a lot. Like
you said, Muse was the other one.
Yeah, Muse. I really love Muse.
Do you know Brandon Shack Harris?
Yeah, of course.
Did you know he was almost in the band Muse?
No, I didn't know that.
He could
I'm not surprised. He looks so cool.
Bro, he is. He was a keyboard player, a piano player, and he plays. I think he plays everything. But you can listen to his story on this podcast for those of you listening.
I will for sure.
He was almost recruited into the band Muse, and it ended up didn't work out. But yeah,
that's super cool.
Right?
That's insane. Yeah.
I know, and now they're worldwide megastars.
Yeah, for sure.
Headphones on at the table, yes or no?
I don't know. I'm mixed about this idea. I really love when people they are talking and they are like sharing emotions. They are I really cool when people they are making it fun. But at the same time, let's say we're in a tournament where everybody wants to be focused. I don't mind to be able to do it.
Yeah.
I personally never do it or close to, but I don't mind to see people doing it. I really understand why.
Yeah, easy to shut people out who are being a little too loud.
Exactly, yeah.
Favorite movie?
The Tree of Life.
A Tree of Life?
Yeah, with Brad Pitt, Champagne. He won the Palm Festival, I think.
Why am I forgetting this movie?
It's a beautiful movie. Really, really beautiful. You should watch it, but watch it on a good screen, please.
The Tree of Life. Okay, I'm definitely. I mean, it's Brad Pitt, so you'd think I would know about it immediately. Did it have a different title in France than it did in the States?
No, it's called The Tree of Life.
Oh my God! Now I'm embarrassed that I don't know this movie.
It's really like I want to be in your shoes and be able to watch it again for the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I'll rent it tonight.
Yeah,
me and the wife got nothing to do.
Like, do you have a great TV? You need to have a great TV.
I have a great TV.
Okay, so you're gonna really love your night. Yeah.
I will crank. Kids watch the movie?
Yes, they can.
Okay,
yeah, they can.
My 5-year-old.
They won't understand everything, but it's nothing brutal or.
All right, so we end the podcast the same way every time.
Okay.
With a question from the random question generator.
Okay. Oh my God, I'm so scared. Let's go.
It's not that scary. None of these questions have ever been that scary. All right, let's load this. Okay, this one's interesting. Have you ever had to run for your life or run from danger?
Oh yeah, a couple of times.
A couple of times?
Oh yeah. So that's like, I mean, in Europe,
that's two stories. Let's go.
It's in Europe, like people are pretty crazy. And they want to rob you, and they can do whatever to rob. So basically, because of this watch, this beep watch, 2 times in Spain actually, like people they wanted to rob us, and we needed to run very fast.
Where were you on Las Ramblas?
We were in the Gothic area.
Okay.
So like the downtown, the old city, and every street are very teeny.
Yeah, very narrow streets, and then you have the 8-year-olds who are trying to sell you beer.
Yeah, that kind of things.
Out of their pocket.
And you have their grand brother, like 20 years old. They are like 10, and they are looking for watch and to rob people. And you never know what people are ready to do for like a 20K watch or like whatever, which is a lot of money for them.
They don't even need to know it's worth that much. They're just like, oh, maybe that's worth a couple hundred. Good enough.
I mean, they know. I think they know. You
think? You think that they know their watches?
I mean, yeah. I think they know what they do. I mean, I hope for them. And it's like right now I'm just like wearing it like in Vegas because it's the only one place in the world with Taiwan where I feel completely safe. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, everyone looks at you like, so what? We all have those watches too.
Yes, exactly.
Although there are some poker players who walk around with a little bit of security.
Really?
Yeah, there's a couple of high rollers, maybe not pros, but like high stakes, important people with a lot of jewelry on who have security waiting in the slots area and stuff like that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you see,
I would feel less safe, man, right now.
You feel less safe with that?
Of course, like if people they need security, it's for something, right?
Well, I guess yeah, if they're worth that much money. But I mean, you're gonna be playing people in here later today who are worth that much money.
Yeah, but I mean, other than this, it shows like things about our society who goes wrong and how success is like people they think success is just to have money while it's not. Personally, by my own experience, I'm super happy today and I'm very like thankful to have wonderful days every day. But I was probably happier when I was less rich. Mm-hmm. Because like I needed to deserve the love of people, and people they didn't love me by default just because I'm successful or rich or whatever.
You had to earn it.
Exactly, yeah, and I love it. Like, I prefer cats to dogs, just because, like, you need to absolutely love your cats for him to love you back, while the dog will love you by default. And
Exactly.
it's like this relation. And people today, they think, like, some people, they have to rob to live, and I understand this, but some people, they just want to rob to be richer because they think they're gonna be happier, which is completely wrong. Like, if they rob, it's something is wrong in their life for sure.
Yeah, so you had to run from these pickpockets.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember they were doing the newspaper trick to a lot of people.
Yeah, I did it that one time in France. Like, I was eating like at McDonald's or something. My phone was on the table, and like with the paper over the
Hey,
phone.
want to buy a newspaper? And then all of a sudden your
I
bag's
don't
gone.
see anymore my phone. I was like, I took it back, but it was like, always annoying, especially when you are eating. It's pretty hard to see, and yeah.
So what do you do here in Vegas when you're in town? Because obviously the wife's not here, right?
Yeah, wife was there a few days ago, but she left town, and right now I'm just playing poker, eating in restaurant with friends.
Have you seen all the shows, done all the touristy things? Are you over it?
I already saw all of them, and I'm just waiting my parents to come one time in Vegas to see it again,
Right, then you get to see it all over again,
exactly,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this.
Yeah, I mean, if you added up all the months in your life you're going to be spending here, over the course of an entire poker career, better get used to this city, huh?
I love this city, actually. I really love it. I love the life outside the strip, and I love a lot of restaurants here. I dislike the dryness of the weather, but I think
takes some getting used to.
I think Vegas is a great place for a poker player to live. Yeah.
Awesome. Julien, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
And good luck in your game here at Table 1.
Table 1, this afternoon. And we'll play Bahamas Party Millions. And then I will go to EPT, Prague.
Good luck.
Let's go for it. Thank you so much.
That's it. That's the show. Thank you once again to Julien for coming on and sharing his stories. If you want to see if he's in France, Taiwan, England, Washington, or on the road somewhere, then go ahead and check him out on Twitter at Julien R. Martini. You can also follow us on Twitter at poker_stories and also at Card Player Media. Please make sure you subscribe and also help this show reach more poker players by leaving a rating and a review. To thank you, we want to give you a free digital subscription to Card Player Magazine. So send an email to pokerstories@cardplayer.com to let us know about it, and we'll make sure to get you hooked up. Thanks for listening.